My name is Peter Jackson Mungoma, and I am the Chief Executive Officer at Capital Radio. The history of Capital Radio and DFCU is intertwined and is really brought out in this picture right behind me, which shows the two directors, Mr. William Pike and Patrick Kwaku, sitting in the Capital main studio, where they had just got the financing that started the stations. And as you know, at that time, FM radio was a new thing. And most banks were saying FM stations will never be a hit in this market. And so even the directors taking a loan from DFCU was a big risk because nobody knew how it was going to be, whether it would succeed or not. DFCU, on the other hand, was taking a risk with this new venture, this new business, and saying we're going to lend them money. People like music, people like entertainment, they like good programming. And so once they put this together to create a radio station, that saw the success and the growth of FM radio in this market. This picture is very significant for us because it signifies one of Capital Radio's biggest and most flagship shows, which is the Capital Gang. This was in 2001 when we had just hosted His Excellency the President, and he was accompanied by the Prime Minister of the day, who was Professor Apollo Zibambi, who's right there in the show. And it had just been hosted by Robert Kabushenga, who I'm sure you all know, who was the host of the show. This picture also is Mr. William Pike, and then most of the other staff in the background. As you can see, that there is yours truly. And I was at that time the direct sales manager for Capital Radio back in 2001. And so you can see that we have quite a rich history and a good background about Capital Radio. From then on, obviously, because audiences had grown, advertisers came rushing. And because of this advertising rush, the revenues grew and the radio station became very successful. The directors decided to expand and moved into Kenya, where we started a number of radio stations like Kiss FM. And these have now grown to 6 radio stations in Kenya. We have a newspaper called The Star. So the expansion into the wider East African region was from Capital Radio's success in Uganda. In 2004, we acquired Beat FM, which is the Uganda station. It's broadcasting on 96.3. And we have recently expanded the footprint to Masaka, which is the central region. So Beat FM broadcasts in Uganda and gives us quite a big expanse in the central region. And then in 2022, we started Kiss FM in Uganda. Capital Radio has played a significant role in creating jobs. Right now, we are sitting at 106 employees, not even talking about the other people that do other things, like our agents that are out there giving us news, our journalists. We have been doing a number of things to promote the youth in terms of creating opportunities for them to learn about music, to get into the music career. We have worked very, very closely with different community initiatives. Most important has been the blood donation drives with the Uganda Red Cross, where we've raised millions of liters for people that need blood. And these are things that have been happening almost every year in the Capital FM Gardens, where we have 1 week of blood donation drives, where we carry out sensitization for people to come and donate blood, especially with Beat FM, where we have been able to support different initiatives for children, mothers that have given birth, where every month or every year we collect items working with our listeners to be able to give back to the community in terms of what they actually need. This again is attributable to the support over the years from our very credible financing partners, DFCU, who have been able to drive our day-to-day business through the banking that we do with them. One of the most memorable partnerships with DFCU was in 2023, in July, when together with DFCU and other partners, we brought one of the world's most famous boys band, which is Boys to Men, who came and performed in Uganda for the very first time. It created a lot of talk. One of the things that we are very, very passionate about is our local artists. So we sample a lot of their music and make sure that we give it airplay. And once it picks up on the airplay, then it becomes one of the big hits that people like to listen to and keep voting for. Some of the big names like Jose Chameleon, like Bebe Cool, who all attribute most of their success to the music that we play and the music that we play on the stations, plus also supporting their different activities. And this excitement wouldn't have been possible without the partnership and the support of DFCU Bank.